Everyone knows that Logan Paul is probably top 10 worst things to ever happen to America. And I do think the birth of Logan Paul is much, and I mean much worse than 9/11. Logan Paul needs no introduction. He's been a douchebag since 2015. I've said this multiple times. I don't like Logan Paul. As a matter of fact, I don't know how many of you guys know this, but I posted this on my Instagram, which that's where you gotta follow. You know, that's where the breaking news goes down. I actually got to see Logan Paul in person. It was because I went to WrestleMania 41, and a lot of people didn't like him. People behind me were chanting, "Fuck this guy," and "he sucks." And no, it wasn't just because it's WWE and it's scripted and all of this. There was people out there behind me, in front of me, and to my right who were legitimately hating this man, and not the character, but Logan Paul as a person. I can't blame them, especially after these text messages came out regarding Logan Paul and coffeezilla. Now, in case you guys don't know, coffeezilla is currently being sued by Logan Paul. Long story short, coffeezilla, which is a go-to YouTuber, called out Logan Paul for being a fraud, for being a scammer. Logan Paul didn't like it. He threatened to sue him, and then he ended up suing him. It's not like he defamed himself almost 10 years ago by recording a dead body in Japan. But, you know, Logan Paul and taking accountability are two things that really don't go together.
Came back from Japan last week.
Great place.
Like,
really nice.
It was really nice.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys had fun.
We had a blast.
Yeah.
We've been hoping to go there. For some
guys
reason,
haven't
we
been to
have.
Japan?
Well,
You've never been? There's a great.
I had prior obligations.
No, you gotta go, dude.
This last time I had prior obligations.
dude,
he's been really busy. He has been busy. He just hasn't had time to go there.
Can you go?
Bro, Dom, what do you think this? Yes, I can go to Japan.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
No, I can go to Japan.
I didn't know if you were like, shadow banned or something.
Excommunicado.
Yeah, excommunicado.
Come on, excommunicado. No, I'm not excommunicado.
And these messages came out literally yesterday. I want people who wrong me to suffer. Logan Paul's alleged text messages about coffeezilla surface amid their legal battle. Logan Paul is just a bully. He does dumb shit, then gets called out, and then cries about it and sues you because he has the money like that. And I actually found this video by this YouTuber who I just discovered called Legal Bites, who made a whole video talking about the situation. The text messages between Logan Paul and a friend talking about ruining coffeezilla, and it truly does show you how corrupt and disgusting Logan Paul is.
Logan Paul is essentially suing coffeezilla for calling him a scammer over the whole cryptozoo saga. And if you're familiar with defamation, you know that truth of a statement is an absolute defense to defamation. So if it turns out that Logan Paul, in fact, did defraud/scam all of these cryptozoo investors, and a court effectively concludes that, whether it's a judge or a jury, that conclusion effectively cuts Logan Paul's defamation claim at the knees. So coffeezilla is saying, let's litigate these cases together, at the very least for efficiency's sake. Now, I will say that is a pretty good argument. Courts like to be efficient. They don't usually like to see the same case or issue get relitigated if it doesn't have to. So we'll see what the judge says on this whole issue.
I'm no lawyer, right? I've said this multiple times, but the only way I could see Logan Paul winning this is if he's like, well, I was brainwashed and someone took over my body and decided to launch Doink Coin, and then record a video and send it via Telegram. And then someone else possessed me and decided to scam a whole bunch of people with cryptozoo, and a lot of those people have yet to be paid, and they trusted me with their money. I scammed my fans multiple times, and on top of that, I made millions along the way. But I promise you, I will not do this again. Everyone that has ever launched a crypto scam should be in jail for 6 months bare minimum. I would understand if you had $1 to your name and you could somehow pull this off. You know what I mean? Like, I'll turn the blind eye. I don't know if I should say that. But when you're already a multi-millionaire, you still want to scam your fans, the people that made you who you are, the people that gave you that money. I don't get it. Well, like, I do get it. Of course, I love money as much as the next guy. $1 million, $2 million. I will never turn that down. But to steal money from the people that made you is disgusting. And the fact that Logan Paul is out here playing the victim, like, oh, this guy is slandering me. This guy is running my name through the mud. I'm innocent. Bruh, come on. Come on. We all know what you did. We all know what your plan was. Intel, coffeezilla, and others caught you in 4K trying to get away with this and scam innocent people who, truth be told, should have known better.
Courts don't like to see inefficiencies in litigation in general, but they also don't like seeing that when one side has significant resources that the other side doesn't, the wealthy side is unfairly using those resources to weaponize the litigation process without a legitimate reason. And so that's where all of these new texts come in. Coffeezilla says that in addition to scheming this backdoor into the class action case, Logan Paul filed this case to use his billions of dollars to destroy Coffeezilla in retaliation for making him look bad and to serve a message to anyone who might criticize him.
But the only person that has ever made Logan Paul look bad is Logan Paul himself.
And to serve a message to anyone who might criticize him. Specifically, he says, Paul is also using this lawsuit to punish Coffeezilla, whom Paul perceives as his online nemesis, and make him a cautionary tale to other critics.
He's a little gnat. He's like a little fucking annoying gnat, and it bothers me. He won. He got to me, bro. He's the most formidable opponent I've had. I'm not kidding.
Paul's own messages with friends and associates explicitly confirm his motive. And then Coffeezilla attaches a bunch of text messages that they got from Paul's phone. First, there's this. Logan Paul says, lawyering up, suing this MFer into the ground. Then his friend says, then everything will come out, court docs public. Then Logan says, so everyone will see what happened for better or for worse. And just pausing for a moment to note the irony in that they are talking about everything coming public. Maybe they didn't realize that that included these text messages. Anyway. Then the texts go on where the friend says to let others know it's not worth coming at you and there's a price to pay. To which Logan responds, that's the idea, need to shut it down. Then the friend continues, public humiliation is always more effective, and Logan responds, totally agree. And then Coffeezilla says, Paul also admitted that he's suing him just to make his life difficult. And he says, Zilla will pay one way or another. I'll make sure of it. And even when Coffeezilla says one of Paul's friends tries to talk him out of the idea of spending time trying to punish Coffeezilla by stating, bro, you're a billionaire, Paul responds with, a petty billionaire. And finally, Coffeezilla says that Paul even admits that he just wants to make Coffeezilla suffer along with anyone else he feels has wronged him. And here he attaches text where Paul says, I want people who wronged me to suffer while I continue getting wins on their grave. So about this whole message that Paul says that he wants to send out to the public to make people think twice about criticizing him.
This is how I imagine Logan Paul to look like while sending those text messages. Now, I don't think this is going to go over too well when now we could see the real, true intent coming from Paul directly. He's just doing this to mess with Coffeezilla because Logan Paul has more money. So he thought, hey, I could get away with this. I'm here to teach people not to mess with me. All right. That is the Logan Paul way. I truly do fail to see what the plan here is. If anything, this does not make him look any better. He just comes across as, once again, well, we all know all along, he's just a douchebag, a YouTuber with a massive ego. And there's nothing worse than that. And I do think these text messages are pretty damning. All right, they do make him look even worse somehow, if you could believe that. Truth be told, I don't know who's worse, between Logan Paul or Hitler. I saw this and I was like, anytime I get to talk shit about Logan Paul, I'll be there. But yeah, with that said, what do you guys think of this situation? Of course, I hope Coffeezilla wins, and I hope he gets some money. I hope Logan Paul loses this and gets embarrassed. But with that said, yeah, subscribe to the channel, drop a like, or Logan Paul will sue you if you've ever said anything mean to him.